instability of the ship. And he stands up and he says, "Men, last night, an angel of God whom I belong to and whom I serve stood beside me." Paul had been in the presence of the great I am, and he's telling the men, take courage. In fact, he says in verse 22, I urge you to take courage. I urge you to take courage. And I'm urging you, women of God, to find your courage again. To get to that place where you have confidence in whose you are. You sang you were chosen, but you've got to walk in the fact that you're chosen. Stand in the fact that you're chosen and not forsaken. And then Paul says this interesting line in verse 22. He says, not one of you will be lost. Listen to this. Only the ship will be destroyed. And in the storm, I have to let you know, some stuff gets damaged. Okay, this is not God saying you're all going to come out without a scratch or a bruise. There are some things in the storm that get broken up. There are some things that don't look like they did before the storm, after the storm. You don't look the same when you've been through a storm. Hello. In the natural, your hair's all over the place. And in the spiritual, you look different after a storm. But different doesn't mean bad. Different means God's going to use that in you and through you. And Paul's letting them know, look, some of you are bothered about your finances changing in the storm. You're bothered about the friendship changing in the storm. God's like, look, some things will look different, but you will survive. You will come out the other end of this alive and well. The ship might get damaged, but you will live. And he said, I was with an angel last night. And this angel stood beside me and said to me, do not be afraid. God simply wants to say to some of you, do not be afraid. He says, keep up your courage, for I have faith in God that it will happen just as he told me. Paul spoke to the storm. He spoke stability because of where he had been earlier in the day. He spoke peace because he had been with the one who has peace that passes understanding. Listen, sometimes you don't speak peace because you have not been with the one who is peace. Sometimes you speak panic because you've been on the phone with all your gossip friends who are adding to the panic. Sometimes you speak cray-cray because Sister Cray-cray has been encouraging you that way. But if you're in a storm, you should be selective about who you're listening to. If you're in a storm, you should be very careful about what comes across the airwaves of your life. If you've ever been in an area where there's a thunderstorm and you're in the car and the radio signal starts to get messed up. And sometimes spiritually, when we're in a storm, our signal, our ability to tune into the Spirit of God gets messed up with everyone's opinion and everyone's advice, and you should do this and you should do that, and they hurt me, so you should say this and you should retaliate, and you're confused. But Paul said, I'm not going to listen to the thrower or the roper or the no-hoper. I'm going to get in the presence of the Almighty God. And from there, he showed me there will be some damage, but I will survive.